All right, to our live audience today, we welcome you. We're so excited to have you with us watching on our YouTube channel. And we're just really excited that this is the greatest time in the world to be able to go and study abroad, work abroad, travel abroad, do business abroad. No other time in the world like it. And so getting ready to do that is of utmost importance. We start with our academics. We start with trying to do the best, get the best scores that we can, study hard, and prepare well in all of our subjects, get a good GPA, and then work on our English every day. And so working on our English every day just will prepare us, as English is the international language, for the brightest future. And why I'm saying this is that in every country you go to, you'll see English signs and people will be speaking in English. It doesn't matter what's the major language in that country. English will be the second language normally. And so signs in English and speaking in English and telephone in English and so as much English as you can master now will only benefit you for the future. Not only you, but it'll benefit your future generations too, your children, your grandchildren. The more you become strong in English, the stronger your children and grandchildren will be in English. And so that's a great opportunity now. Again, if you speak English well, you'll be able to get good study opportunities, good job opportunities, good business opportunities, good travel opportunities, friendship opportunities. And so it's just a great thing to work on our English. Then number three is our finances. Making sure you get your finances in place, that you have the money to cover your education, to cover your visa costs, to cover all the processing and everything. So generally and beyond, you can come to our office and you talk with Suresh sir, and he'll give you the package of everything and how much it will cost, and what you'll need to have in your account, and what secondary income sources you'll need to have, such as land holdings and things, to be able to have documents for that to show that you're able to cover for your education. And so those things are absolutely necessary: your academics, your English, and your finances. If those are in place, then you're going to have some good opportunities for your future. And so I can't stress it enough. I'll just take a moment to jot down a couple of things here. I'll be right back with you. Okay, we have two fine young students with us today, Durba and Kavita, and we're very excited as Durba is preparing to go to the UK to work in cookery and as a chef, and that Kavita is planning to go to Canada for studies, and so both of them are getting ready for their IELTS, and so we're going to be doing an IELTS mock test with them, and so you can listen along with us. And this is going to be a good opportunity. The IELTS mock test is very much like the TOEFL test, the PTE test, and the Duolingo, and that you're asked some questions and you have to give good, clear answers in English, and to show number one, your fluency, that you're able to speak clearly and smoothly in English and at length, and also that you have good vocabulary and you have good pronunciation of that vocabulary and you have good grammar. You put your words together in the best sentences. And so this is judged in all four of the major language testing: IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, and Duolingo. And so we're going to do the IELTS mock test and practice now. And so we're going to start with Durba, and the first section is always about our personal lives, something about our personal lives. And so you can prepare by writing an autobiography of yourself ahead of time. And you write down, you just get a blank notebook and start writing everything about your birth, about your early childhood, about your family, about your pets, about your activities, about your play, about your studies, about your dreams, about your favorite hobbies, about your all the different things that you've done and where you live, describing your house, describing your neighborhood, describing your birthplace, and describing your grandparents, your family members, your dreams for the future, your possessions, things that you use, and your cell phone, your desk, your room, your describing everything that you can in your autobiography. Auto means self, so you're doing it yourself, writing, and bio means life, and so that's your own life, and then graphy is writing. So you're writing about your own life. You yourself are writing about your life. It's called an autobiography. And so write your own autobiography in a blank notebook, everything about yourself. And so this is good practice for your writing, and it's good practice so you can then read it into a mirror and practice all these different aspects so you can tell about yourself in the first section. You'll be asked simple questions like, "Are you working or are you studying?" and "How do you like your work? What do you like about your work? And what is the problem about your work, studies, and so on and so on." So all those things you can write ahead of time into your notebook and write about your everything about your studies, everything about your work, everything about your childhood, everything about your home, and such in your notebook about yourself. This will help you to be able to answer the first questions in the IELTS speaking mock test. All right, let us begin. Durba, please tell us, are you working or are you studying?
Well, I'm working as a cook in Hyderabad, which is located for side.
Okay, how long have you been working there?
I have been working there almost 4 years.
4 years, okay. What are the happy things you like there?
I'm really happy I'm working here because I have got lots of friends. I have good co-workers.
Yes.
I really enjoy with them,
Hmm.
so I'm really happy.
Very
My
good.
owner is also very good.
Yes, wonderful. And please tell me, what challenges do you face at your workplace?
Challenge sometime we have guests,
Yes, many guests.
many guests, and sometimes we must do fast work. I
Hmm.
think
Yeah,
something
fast
like that.
but good work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's difficult at times. I know.
Sometimes we have to fast work.
Yes, the rush times. Yeah. And so, okay. And how did you become interested in cooking, Durba?
Actually, cooking is my hobby as well. When I was child, I'm really interested for cooking,
Yes.
and in my side, I in my kitchen I helped with my mom.
Yes.
I used to help
Yes.
my mom, and after finished my school level, then I went to restaurant and I started the job.
Mhm. Very good, very good. Well, that's excellent, Durba, and we're so happy that you're pursuing your dream and working in the UK as a cook, and so that as a chef. So that'll be very great. And altogether, how many years of experience do you have in cooking professionally?
I have 10 years
10 years
of
experience.
experience because I went to India
Yes.
and I went to abroad. For example, I went to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and
Yes.
South Korea as well.
Yeah.
I have
So much
yeah, I
experience
have
you
so
have.
much experience.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, yeah, this is rich with experience, Durba, and that will pay off for you. Okay, let's move now to Kavita. Kavita, are you working or are you studying?
I'm today I'm I'm currently studying
Yes.
in the management campus.
Yes.
My faculty is management.
Yes.
Um, I learned how to manage and how to business.
Very good.
and I complete my studies. Maybe I will start my business.
Mhm. Very good. And what is your interest for your business in the future? What kind of business would you like to do in the future?
In the future, maybe I will start jewelry
Jewelry business. Okay.
uh, because I love jewelry
Yes.
and I'm interested.
Mhm.
Right?
Okay.
I have a business experience.
Mhm.
And do jewelry.
Good. And does any of your family been in the jewelry business in the past? No, you would be the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, great. And what first got you interested in jewelry?
Maybe earrings,
Earrings, okay.
maybe
You,
hand necklace.
okay, you saw people wearing them and you became interested in earrings and necklaces. Okay, wow. And so, does your mother wear earrings and necklaces? Yes,
My mother
and sister,
and also
and and
me.
and you as well. Okay, great. And uh, do people buy as much jewelry today as they used to?
Yes, most of people buy jewelry nowadays because when we celebrate party or occasion,
Yeah.
it is important
True.
for Nepali people
Mhm.
and they do wear jewelry.
Yes. Mhm. Very good. All right, excellent. Now let's move to the cue card question. So, Durva, I've got a question, and I want you to tell about your mother's friends, and I want you to tell about an accident you were involved in, whether it be slipping, falling down, or a car accident or bus accident, any type of that you're involved in. What happened? Okay, you have 1 minute to prepare yourself. You can use those papers as scratch papers. And so this is the second part. You get a cue card question. That is a typed question on a card, and then you're supposed to think about how am I going to answer this question, and then it's a general question about yourself, something that you've experienced or some person that you know or you think about, um, and uh, and so then it will ask you about that person, about your activity, about something that you've experienced, and so then you have 1 minute to prepare, and then you have 1 to 2 minutes to give a presentation on that question. And so they're being timed right now, both Durva and Kavita, so they have about 40 seconds left. And so that's the answer on that question. And shortly. So how do you prepare for question number 2? All right, so this is something, now you can know it's generally in 2 categories. One is something that you've experienced, and or something that you've um, that something about a person that you know or want to know, and some either a celebrity or a historical figure or family, or something about your family member or something like that. And so also we can prepare for this answer. And so I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Right now, we're going to ask them to go ahead and give theirs. Kavita, please tell us what about an accident that you were involved in.
4 years ago, uh, 4 years ago, it was accident with my friend. We were going to college, and in the morning we accident. We were accident. Mm, it was not a big accident. It was a small accident.
Mhm.
Accident. And I I I broke my scooty.
Oh.
uh, but
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing about that, Kavita. And please, Durva, please tell me about your mother's friends.
You asked me to describe my mother's friends. So I would like to explain about them. Uh, my mother has lots of friends. For example, she has teacher friends and farmers as well. But mother has my mother has a best friend. Her name is Sarada, and she's working as a teacher in primary school,
Yes.
and she's really helpful person, and she's 50 years old,
Yes.
and our family are really uh, good family.
Mm.
And the family are also helpful and very kind family.
Uh-huh.
And she has three children,
Mm.
a daughter and two sons.
Yes.
And really her family are very happy as well.
Wonderful. Yeah. Great. All right. So let's now go back and ask some side questions. So the third section of the speaking mock test is some general questions relating to the question that was asked about your experience or some person or persons that you know. And so let's now jump to the third section. I'm going to start with Kavita. Please tell me, Kavita, what is the major cause of accidents?
Major cause is traffic jam.
Mm.
Every day people used to vehicle and it was main causes. And second is people people don't follow rules and regulations.
Okay, and what can we do to prevent accidents?
And accidents.
Yes. Yes. What can prevent accidents that can be done in our society that keep the accidents from occurring? What things can be done to prevent them, to keep them from occurring?
What and accidents.
How to stop the accident?
Yes.
We follow rules and regulations
Hmm.
and we use public transportation.
Hmm.
We used to stay because they carry high people in same time.
Hmm.
It is reduced to traffic jam.
Okay, and so those are good things. So to follow those rules and encourage our children and others to obey the traffic rules and keep our speed down to the right limits and then use public transportation as much as possible to reduce the traffic on the highways. And, okay, that's very good. Okay, let's move now to Durba. And so Durba, tell us that what makes a good friend.
I think first of all, discipline is most important because if I have we have discipline, people automatically like us,
Yes.
and we have to speak politely, and if they have any problem, they have any pain, we have to support others for them.
Mhm.
So I think help and encourage is
Yes.
very important.
Yeah. Mhm. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Those are good things to build friendships. And can friends sometimes become our enemies? If so, how does that happen?
Sometimes we have we have formed enemies. In this time, I think uh, we have to control our younger.
Anger.
Younger, we have to control younger, and we have many solutions. Do we have to do a meeting together. Then I think fighting is not good.
Mhm.
So we have to we have many solutions. So we have short solution.
Okay, okay. And so, okay, very good. So you've answered the questions nicely today. And so this is so important. So you're going to be, the third section, you're going to be asked some general questions like again, what's good for friendship? How do friends become enemies? How does this happen? And then such things as what can stop accidents and uh, and then there was honesty, always the best policy, and uh, and so it is. So these are general questions that relate to the second, your cue card question that's about an experience or a person that you know. So this is that covers the section, and in about 12 minutes, that your IELTS speaking test is completed after the questions are asked, and then you will be judged then on your fluency, that is the smoothness of your being able to speak in English, and that you're able to speak at length in English, and you don't hesitate, and it's very smooth from sentence to sentence, and so this is very important. And then your vocabulary, judge on your vocabulary. Are you using a range of words that, in other words, not just one single word again and again and again, but you have other words that are used in its place. And for the word equipment, and then you can talk about tools and inventory and other things. The way to describe other ways instead of just one word using equipment and equipment and equipment. You can say the inventory, the purchases, the and so and such using other words and rather than just a single word again and again. It's called a wide range of vocabulary. And so the better you develop your vocabulary, the better on that. And then your pronunciation. Are you pronouncing the words correctly? And so the noun is called pronunciation. 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 The verb is called pronounce, to pronounce the word correctly. Pronounce, pronounce. And so not pronunciation is the noun, but pronunciation. And we don't pronounce the words, but we pronounce the words. Okay, so that's so your pronunciation. You're learning that, and as you listen to speaking, and you're learning the right, correct pronunciation. And then finally, they'll be judging you on your grammar, how you bring words together in sentences. Is it correct grammar or not? Are you putting your nouns and your verbs, pronouns and verbs, in the right places? And so this is are you using your tenses correctly, present tense and past tense and future tense? And so this is grammar. So you'll be judged on your grammar. And so all this together will determine your band score on your speaking test. And so you're trying to increase your band score. You're trying to make it go higher, higher, higher. And that comes by every day working on your English. And how do we work on our English? Number one, for the speaking test, of course, if you have English speakers that are good in English, to speak to them in English every day and you're conversing together back and forth. So you're thinking you're about what question to ask, how to answer the questions they ask you, and back and forth. So this is really good development and practice for you to have conversations with English speakers. And then number two is listening to English and watching English programs and then repeating those sentences back into a mirror. And so what you're getting here is the grammar, the vocabulary, the pronunciation, and the fluency, and you're practicing that. And so that's very good to do it every day. Those things will benefit you greatly. And then again, you always should be working on all areas of your English, not just focusing on one, but all areas: reading, writing, listening, and speaking every day, doing exercises to prepare yourself. Then before you want to book your examination date, and then you want to prepare yourself. Relaxation techniques that closing your eyes, taking deep breaths, thinking of the most beautiful place in the world you've ever been, and going there back of your mind as you're taking those deep breaths. And then relaxing all the muscles of your body from the top of your head to the sole of your feet, and just relaxing them, letting everything hang limp. Your arms hang limp, your legs are limp hanging and to the side, and your jaw is hanging limp, and you're just, all the muscles are fully relaxed. And as you're taking deep breaths, and so what this is doing is it lowers your heart rate and it lowers your blood pressure so that you can think more clearly. And so this is very beneficial for you. And so it reduces your nervousness. And so you can learn to train yourself to be fully relaxed, fully relaxed, fully relaxed. Taking those deep breaths and thinking of that most beautiful place you've ever been and going there in your mind and just relaxing. Yes, it feels so good. And if you do that for a number of minutes, then you'll be fully relaxed and then able to go and do your IELTS examination, able to go for your visa interview, able to do your presentation, and whatever else you need to do. That this is a great way to get started to relax yourself. Also for your future, for stress processing, that we just got another news from another friend that their mother just had a stroke. That means their blood pressure had gone up too high, and they had brain hemorrhage in their brain, and so they're on the bed in the hospital, and so hopefully they'll be okay, but yeah, there'll be some residual effects. Sometimes we get paralyzed by it, and sometimes it's weeks and months before we can get back to recovery. Sometimes it's months of work to get back to even walking again, or talking again, or eating again. And then some people don't have the hemorrhage from the blood pressure, but they have a heart attack. And so learning to relax ourselves, learning to let the stress go and just relax yourself is life-saving for us, and extending our life, making our life longer. And so these are very important things. Durba and Kavita, you've done very well today, and your English is improving, and I just encourage you to continue to make improvement, and whatever help that we can give to you. Again, I spoke to Suresh Sir again about you coming for another class or two, and so you're welcome to come. And then if you'd like to continue your classes, then again you can just do another month's of fees and continue your classes. It will be beneficial to you every day. Your English, as you're listening to me, as you're practicing speaking, as I'm making correction for you, then your English will just continue to make improvement. And so whether it be in the kitchen, where you're working with international staff, Durba, and they're speaking, and everyone's speaking in English, your supervisor's speaking in English, so you pick up everything that he's saying, and then you're giving orders and things to other people there in the kitchen. Bring that, do this, and whatever, you can express it very clearly in English, and then when you're visiting, getting a little break, and you're able to go out and meet the guests that are in your restaurant and talk with them. How do you like the food? Is there enough salt in it? Is the flavor good? And what do you like best about it? What dish is your favorite? And so you can get the feedback from the guests. You can communicate with them nicely, and then your everyday for where you're living in your community, visiting with people, talking with them at the store when you're buying things and everything that your day to day, because you're going into a full English speaking environment. And so you go there and everything's in English. So if your English is this level and people are speaking at this level, then there's a problem. But if you bring it up to this level, then you're going to be having a good, everything will be clear for you and helpful for you. So it's important before you arrive in the place to go ahead and bring your English up to that level as close as possible. And that comes by working. That comes by listening carefully, writing down new words, new pronunciation, practicing the pronunciations in the mirror, watching the English videos, reading English books, doing English workbooks, answering questions, and getting people to check it to make sure that your English is correct. And all these things are so important. Keep practicing your English and have time in the morning to work on your English, time in the afternoon, time in the evening, time in the nighttime. And so all these things will be very important because when you go to the foreign country, when you go to Canada, to America, to England, it's going to be morning, afternoon, and evening, and nighttime. You'll be hearing English and speaking in English and listening in English and reading in English and writing in English. And so these things are so important now that you begin to do this in the morning, afternoon, and evening every day to prepare to be in your dream country. And so you know you're going to be getting some breakthroughs when you start dreaming in English. And so at nighttime, you know the English is going deeper and deeper into your subconscious. And so it's very beneficial to keep immersing yourself, what we call it language immersion, to go deep and deeper into language every day. And so it went longer periods of time reading, longer periods of time listening to the English language, longer periods of time speaking the English language. And so this will be beneficial. We have some other students, Suresh. Okay, great. Wonderful to be with you. Hope to meet you back tomorrow. And keep practicing, working hard on your English. It will only benefit you for the brightest future. You're welcome. You too. Look forward to meeting you tomorrow. And for our audience today, the students have been very good answering the questions. We have some students coming in right now, and so some more students. So stay with us, and we're going to try to answer your questions. And if you can write to us, if you can call us, if you can come to our office in Pokhara, Nepal, we're excited to help you. Suresh is here, and he's going to have a few words for you. Yeah. All right. That's great to see everyone. So yeah, and so that the time is like never before for traveling abroad, and we're happy to help you for that. Suresh sir is here almost 24 hours a day. Mr. Hurry has come, and so let's practice together. Hurry is going for his, as Durva was going for a work visa to UK, and Kavita was going for her study visa to Canada. That Hurry is going for his tourist visa to visit the United States for vacation. I'm excited for that. Yeah. So Hurry, please tell us about your plans.
I have ranking plans of my plans.
Yes.
I have also this vacation period in my office, so that I want to visit.
Okay. Why did you choose the United States?
Because United States is the most dream country for my life. And I have a plan since last 14 years for visiting, and I want to visit the first time for my this vacation period. It is my suitable time for visiting.
Okay. And do you have any family or relatives living in the United States?
No.
Yeah. And which places would you plan to travel?
I want to plan to visit the United States, Chicago and Minnesota, Wisconsin state area.
Okay. Why that area?
Because I have a friends there in Minnesota, Wisconsin state, and he invited us to visit outside Chicago.
He invited you to visit him there in Manassas, Wisconsin. Okay, well, Manassas, Wisconsin. Well, that's nice, Hari. And how long have you known your friend?
We are studying it from since last 10 years, 14 years ago.
14 years ago. Okay. Students,
I
higher secondary level. Okay, very good. And what is your friend's name?
My friend's name is Aridas now.
Okay. And how many years do you say he's been living in the United States?
He lives in the United States last since 9 years.
9 years. Okay. And how did he come to the United States?
He came to the United States from diversity.
On the diversity visa. Okay. And then what is he doing now?
He runs department stores.
Okay, he has department stores there. And does he have family there? Or,
Yeah.
okay. And so are you traveling alone, Hari?
No, I'm traveling with my wife.
Okay. And what is your wife doing?
My wife is a math teacher in public school. So she teaches lower secondary level.
Okay.
Since last year, 10 years.
Okay, 10 years. Okay. And do you have any children?
Yeah, I have one daughter and my she is 10 years old. She's studying fourth class.
Okay. And tell me that who else is at home?
And my parents, my father was caretaker for at the time of medicine period.
Okay. Have you ever broken any laws before, Hari?
No,
Yeah. Have you ever been addicted to drugs or alcohol?
no,
Yeah. Do you, other than your friend there, do you have any other relationship in the United States?
no, sir.
And you have a 2-week vacation. You're going to the United States to Chicago area, Manassas, Wisconsin area, and visit sites there with your friends. And okay, and what about? Are you planning to stay there after you visit there for a while? Are you planning to stay there in the United States?
No, I have not. I have not planned to stay in the United States. United States because I have all my job career in Nepal and I have a good job in banking sector since last 14 years and I have a bank since last 5 years and my wife also is teaching in school last since 9 years. So we have a better career opportunity in Nepal, so we can't stay we have not stay.
Visiting the United States can be expensive, Hari. How are you going to take care of your expenses?
We have managed around $40,000 for this team, and we are saving the money from last year, 5 years for this team.
Okay. Okay, very good. Do you have land as well, Hari?
Yeah, we have land and buildings, corporate, and my family members.
And that you can make a lot of money in the United States. Why come back to Nepal?
Because I have a job in most career job in Nepal is very sector. So that I love my job in banking sector since last 14 years. My wife also teaching in school for last 9 years. So we are both happy in our job career, so that we need not to stay in that United States because our place is my home. Our home country is our lovely hair. Love to visit that in Nepal and see visiting this purpose is good for us in Nepal. It's not in
Okay. And why do you think you qualify to be able to visit the United States?
because I am a professional manager and I am a professional teacher, and so we are just sightseeing purpose in the United States, so that we have to plan only for 15 days. We have not planned to stay overstay, and we are we are just go there for one sightseeing purpose, not overstay. So we are
Okay, great. Based on the answers you've given to the questions today, I'm happy to grant your visa to study to visit the United States. All right. Okay, great. All right, let's go back through it again. So you're very clear now about things, and so it's very good that. And again, you've expressed your professional with a bank and so that's very, very good. And so they see your experience, they see your post, they see these things. And so when they're giving you the interview, this is so important to be able to get a tourist visa. And so, and then your ties back to your country, again, you're the bank officials. So if you suddenly are not there, then the Nepal government will come looking for you. And not only you're breaking U.S. laws, you're breaking the Nepali laws. So your post is very good, and your situation is very good to get your visa. Your wife is well, and also a professional, and so it's very good for both of you. You also have your family ties here, your young daughter, your parents, and at your home, and so to be able to you're the only son of your parents, and so the only child, right? Do you have any sisters? No. The only one. So you're the only child of your parents. And so all these things are ties back to your home country. And so that's a very good, Hari. And so there's and you have your finances as well. You're a banker, so they know that the finances typically are not a problem for the banker. And so that's your wife is also a professional, and you have your land as well as security. So there's not a problem. In all ways, I see everything as a green light for you, Hari. You have no family or relatives there in the United States, only your friend. He's there on a legal visa. He's settled and established. You've been a longtime friend of his. And so all these things look good for you. For our viewing audience you want to go to visit the United States, okay, and you're a professional. You've worked many years in your post. You have good financial standing. Your English is good, and you're able to travel. This is a golden time to be. The U.S. wants such qualified visitors who are not going to overstay your visa. Remember, the visa officer, he's trained to determine by your eyes and by your face if you're telling the truth or not. If you're telling the truth, you have no worries. If you're a professional, you have the money in place, your English is good, and you're convinced the officer that you're coming back in the time that you've been allotted for you, then you have very, very high opportunity to get your visa. And so this is so exciting. And so very excited for you. And as your wife also continuing to prepare, are you watching your documentaries about the U.S.? Okay, continue to watch those. Those will help you in learning about the United States and your English, developing your English. So continue to practice speaking like they're speaking in the videos. And so it will be beneficial for you. Open your mouth extra wide to make the words come out and give an extra sound to it so it's very clear. Practice speaking very clearly. When I started going abroad and speaking, people would tell me, speak very clearly. Open your mouth and let the words come out very clearly and loudly so that it can be heard by everyone. And so this coaching is good for any place that we travel to prepare ourselves by speaking, opening our mouth, speaking loudly and clearly. And so practicing. And then more and more our mouth muscles get used to speaking the English language, and we're able to speak it more and more fluently. And so that'd be very good. Hari, I've already seen a doubling of improvement from the first day that you came. And so if you continue to double your improvement by practicing your English, it will be very good for you. Yeah. Any questions? Okay. So just encourage you to work on your relaxation exercises, closing your eyes, taking deep breaths, thinking of that most beautiful place, relaxing all the muscles from the top of your head and muscle group after muscle group down your body, all the way down to the toes of your feet, and let all the tension go out. Practice doing that, and again and again. And so that when the time for your visa interview, you do that when they tell you to have a seat and you're waiting there, and that you're getting very relaxed, so you can go up there very clearly. You're not under tension. Your mind is thinking in a clear way, and so your pulse is down, your blood pressure is down, everything is relaxed, and so you can speak to them very in a relaxed manner, and so they'll see he's a very confident, relaxed person, and his English is good, and he is very professional, he and his wife, and so